I'm going to serve you something you have never tasted before. A coffee from a new farm in Panama called Baru Estates. Planted 3 years ago by the team of 90 Plus in an altitude that ranges from 19 to 2300 meters above sea level, slowing down the metabolism of the trees, allowing them to develop more complex acid compounds, which you will taste as citric and malic acidity. Located around a volcanic crater in Volcan Baru, the soil is rich in minerals like phosphorus and potassium, permitting the trees to push more sugars into the cherries for a rich sweetness. The trees were not expected to start producing cherries until next year, but the diverse microclimates created by the winds of the Caribbean Sea and the North Pacific Ocean resulted in some trees in the lowest elevation producing their first cherries for this harvest. The team of 90 Plus, led by Joseph Brodsky, decided to use this nanolot of cherries as an experiment for a new processing technique that produced the best coffee I have ever tasted. The cherries were vacuum sealed and left to ferment for 3 days in an extraction made from the leaves of the geisha coffee tree, resulting in a sweet and juicy acidity. During the fermentation, the cherries were exposed to warm temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius, accelerating the breakdown of sugars and other complex proteins in the coffee mucilage and produce lactic acid that gives us a silky texture. By controlling the oxygen available during the fermentation, the bacteria present in the coffee cherries elevate the fruit qualities in the cup. Even though I am not a coffee producer, I am a roaster and a brewer who is inspired by the passion of the team back in Panama to look for ways to improve even more the quality of my coffee. I noticed that this geisha variety is composed of different screen sizes. Different coffee trees produce slightly different sizes of beans that affect the amount of heat needed to roast them evenly. By using these sieves, I separate the beans, and the result was 70% screen size 20 to 16 and 30% screen size 15 to Peaberry. I roasted them separately, and after tasting, I noticed that the bigger screen size gives us more sweetness and acidity, while the smaller screen size gives us more body and fruity flavors. By blending them together after roasting in a ratio of 1 to 1, I discovered a new flavor of mango that wasn't apparent before. Both batches were roasted 5 days ago. To Agtron 90 for best transparency of taste descriptors. After countless experiments with my team, we figured out the best way to get the most out of this unique coffee. Average ground coffee particle size is 500 microns. For a clean finish in total extraction time of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. My recipe for today is 15 grams of coffee and 250 grams of water to brew 220 ml beverage. This ratio highlights the sweetness and creates harmonious balance in the cup. The pouring pattern is important as this is how we control extraction by agitating the coffee inside the dripper. I pour a total of 4 times, every 30 seconds, to achieve 1.3% TDS for a lingering finish. My water has a 2 to 1 ratio of magnesium and calcium with 120 ppm for a juicy cup. Both of my kettles are set at 93 degrees Celsius to increase extraction efficiency and ensure extraction of delicious cup components like red apple and Concord grape. The temperature of the bed is raised sharply from 25 to 70 degrees and finally reaches 88 degrees Celsius. With this high temperature, the acidity and sweetness are extracted more efficiently, making this coffee more balanced. My filters are custom made to allow more oils and lipids to go through, while still retaining the finer particles. This increases the weight of the coffee and further enhances the silky texture. Now, if you are ready, let's go through your tasting notes for today. In the aroma, you will find coffee blossom, red cherry, raspberry, and mango. In the flavor, you will find red cherry, Concord grape, and red apple. As the coffee cools, you will also find orange, dark chocolate, mango, strawberry, and cinnamon. The aftertaste will be sweet and lingering, like cherries covered in chocolate. As the coffee cools, this turns to mango. Now please, evaluate the aroma while I prepare your cups. Take your time and enjoy. I will be back to serve you soon. Now let's move on with the acidity. The acidity will be sweet and juicy, with citric, malic, and tartaric qualities. In the sweetness, you will find qualities of honey, and sugar cane. The mouthfeel will be juicy, silky, and smooth. Is that okay? Perfect. And now some tasting instructions. While the coffee is still hot, use the cupping spoons in front of you. As it cools down, drink directly from the cup. This will enhance how you perceive sweetness, acidity, and mouthfeel, which is what I really love about this coffee, and I am sure that you will too. Creativity involves breaking out of the traditional patterns to look at things in a different way. Innovation is a mix of the old and the new, with a dash of surprise. Extraordinary taste experience requires human interaction, and doing ordinary things like making a cup of coffee with extraordinary love. This is what specialty coffee is all about. Please enjoy. Thank you very much for your time. It was my pleasure serving you what I believe to be the best cup of coffee I have served so far in my life. Time.